Hello, good morning. This is another tutorial I'm doing. I realized that the last tutorial I did, I have already typed the formulas uh, in a comment form, and then I'll be removing the comments and run them as and when I reach that question or whatever. So a lot of people couldn't get it, or they were not able to differentiate between the one I've commented and then the one I haven't. So they were trying to code along, and at the end of the day they code and then it runs into an error because there are certain parts of the code they didn't add. And so this time around I want to do it like before. I'll code with you. You see, the reason why I was doing it that way was because of time. Because even if when I did it that way, it took me 2 hours. So I'm praying that this one wouldn't be too long. I'm praying. So let's get started. I haven't done anything. I'm just going to code along. Wherever I find a problem, you also know that I'm also going through it. Uh-huh. So we do it. So I don't know whether I will be able to do everything in the project myself. I don't know. All right. Okay, so this is the project. So we are supposed to download this auditor report CSV. So make sure that you download this. You download this thing. When you download it, it will come as a as a zipped file like this. Auditor reports in the downloads folder. So you right click and then you extract everything so that it will be like this folder. So make sure you extract to get this folder. So this folder, you see that one is a CSV file and one is a PDF. So when you open the PDF, this is what you see. Okay, this is what you see. And then they are saying that this CSV, so there are some instructions here. But then we will not follow these instructions because when you follow this, you will do something and then later you cannot get out of it. Because when I looked at it, we were supposed to do something a little bit different. So let me try and then open that one for you. Uh, so let me open my uh, the instruction. Okay, let me open the part 3. Uh-huh. Right. So after downloading, there's some conversation going on here, and so you read all of them. For here, we are told to do the what's the name? We are told to open the ERD, that is the entity relationship the entity relationship diagram. Okay, we are supposed to open it. Okay, so we are going to open the ERD. So you see here it says to integrate the auditor's report. That is the one we downloaded at the beginning. We will need to access many of the tables in the database. So it is important to understand the database structure. To do this, we really need to understand the relationships first so we know where to pull information from. Can you please get the ERD for the MD Water Services database? Spend a few minutes looking at the diagram. So let's open the diagram. So we open our workbench. As at now, everybody knows how to reach here. So we have the tables here. So you go to so you go to database and then you go to reverse engineer. You click on it and then you go to next. You don't touch anything here. You go to next, and then you type in your password for the database. Sorry, I think my password was wrong. I Let me go back. Okay, so next, then I type my password. I don't know whether I've left it in caps. All right. Okay, so I've typed it and I'm done. Then go to next, and then you select MD Water Services. That is the database we are talking about. Next again, and then we come to next again. Then we come to show filter, and then here we are going to move. Let's move everything. So we click on this, the one with the double arrow. Everything is moved here. So we go to execute. Then click on next. Then we finish. Right. So you can see only this here, but that is not the only thing here. When you look at this window, you see that there are other diagrams. So they are below it. So when we come down, we'll see that these diagrams are here. But then the one at the top doesn't have any relationship with anything. It is just there. But let's concentrate on the ones with the relationship. So let's move the diagram in such a way that we'll see all the relationships well. I'll move this one so that I'll know that it is related like this. Then this one, we move it this way. This one is not related. So you see, when it was here, it looks like it is related, but not. It is not related. So this one, we bring it here. And then this one, it is not related to. It is related to only this. So like this. Okay. So now I can see clearly the relationships. This one is not related to anything. So let me put it here. So I'll see the relationships well. And then they are saying we should observe. So you can see that the water source has a source ID varchar, and there's a key. So when you bring your this thing on it, your mouse pointer on it, and then it is blue, then that is I think that is hold on. That will be our primary key. So the primary keys are in blue. When you place your mouse on it, it is in blue. Okay. So when you place it, it is in blue. When it is green, then it is the foreign key. Okay. So you see that when I place this in this on this one, this becomes my primary key. And then when I place it on this one, you see that the same thing has is green. So check. So you see, it is a foreign key to this table. So to this table, this one becomes a foreign key to this table in relationship with this. Then these ones too are primary keys. Um, then foreign keys, foreign. So you see that the table is there with its columns. So this one, it has a column source ID with its data type of water source with each data type, number of people. So everything is here. Then we have the employee table. So this is for the employee table. This is for the well pollution table, and the well pollution table is related to the water source, and the water source is also related to the visit. The visit is related to location. The visit is still related to the water quality. The visit is also related to employee. So employee will visit, okay, the water, the place. So definitely an employee's name will appear for a particular visit. And also water quality will contain the type of or the source, the water source, and it will get us its quality. Location is related to visit. So when you visit which location, it's related to this. And then um, I think that is all for now. Okay, so that is it for this one. So we have looked at the diagram. Then there's a writing here. They said note that the visit table is the central table. So when we opened it, the visit table was in the center, or it is where the table that connects almost all the tables. I think so. It connects all the tables, I think. But when you click on it, you see that one, two, three, four tables are connected to it. But this table that is connected to it is also connected with the well pollution. So in effect, this one connects to every table. In effect, the visit table connects to every table. So it says location ID, source ID, and assigned employee ID are primary keys in their respective tables. So location ID, source ID. So you have primary keys here. Here, source ID is a primary key here. Then we have location ID. Where is it? This one is also a primary key here. Then the I think the assigned employee ID is also a primary key in the employee table. So they are all primary keys in their respective tables, but are all foreign keys in the visits table. So when you go to the visit table and I come on this one, you see that in the visit table, it will show that it is a foreign key. So here in the visit table, it is a foreign key. See, so when I come to the visit table, you see that assigned employee ID is a foreign key, location ID is a foreign key, source ID is a foreign key, and then the record ID is its primary key. So this one is the primary. When you come on this one becomes the foreign key. All right. So this one, the water quality is like that. Um, so if this is the primary key, the foreign key, sorry, if this is the foreign key, we don't have primary key in this one. It means when we want to have a primary key, it must be a combination of two or three columns. So that is it. These are mostly done. These are mostly one-to-one, one-to-many relationships. Let's think some of these through so we can be sure or we are sure this is correct. So we can see one-to-many relationships. So this particular one is from the employee table, and that is one to many. So you see the sign, the symbol. The, the many symbol looks like this, and then the one is here. Then the same thing here with this one to many. Then come here, one to many. From here, one to many. When you come to this one to many. So that is what they are talking about. The visit table is mostly one to many relationship. The visit table logs all the times we've been to different places, and we can see that some locations have been visited multiple times. On the other hand, the location table has all the specifics about each place we've been, but it only includes each location once. So it's a one to many relationship for each unique location in the location table. There might be many corresponding records in the visit table detailing all the different times we went there. Let's look at the relationship between the visit and water quality tables. So the visit and water quality tables. So this is it. And then this. So this and that. The relationship is this. Okay. Right. the visit and water quality table. For every entry in the visit table, there should be one unique corresponding record in water quality table. This means each visit recorded is associated with a specific water quality score, ensuring a one-to-one relationship between the visits and water quality tables. But if we look at ERD, it shows a many to one relationship. So you see, the visit and water quality, they said we are ensuring one to one. Okay, so when we check this and this is not one to one, but rather many to one or one to many. So they are saying that is what is happening here. This does not agree with our thinking. Errors like these can cause problems. So let's fix that. So errors like these, they can cause problem. We have to fix. We should normally be careful making a change like this. First, you should check that record ID is unique for both tables and are indeed one to one. I did that, so all we have to do is right click on the relationship line and select edit relationship. Then at the bottom, select the foreign key tab and change the cardinality to one to one. Now the relationship line should indicate a one to one. So let's go and do that. So it says we should right click on this, go to edit relationship, and then come to foreign key here, down here. Then we come to cardinality, one to one, we select. So that is all. So we close it, and that is one to one relationship. So please, so let me go there again. So you go here and then you come to foreign key, then you change it here. So when you click on it, there's no OK anywhere, you just close this here. And that is one to one. Okay. Integrating the auditor's report. Okay, I sent you a CSV file of auditor's results. You should get it loaded into SQL. You will have to think back to the start of our journey on how to do that. To make sure we have the same names, use this query to create the table first, then import the CSV file. So we are going to use this to create a table. So I'll copy it. That before I copy, let me explain. So we are going to create a table called auditor reports with the following columns: location ID, type of water source, true water source score, and then statements with their respective data types. So the location ID is going to be a varchar with 32 characters. Type of water source is going to be varchar with 64 characters. They will have the int with the default now. Then we have varchar with 255 characters. So let's go and run this. The top one says drop table if exists auditor reports. If there's any auditor reports, it will drop the table. Okay, so I'll go here. This is where I'm supposed to come to run the thing. This is the ER diagram. I can close it here. So I can close this one too. We can save it or we don't have to. Then I am here. So I'll put the code in this area. Oh, sorry. I thought I've copied it. So copy it again. So I paste it here. So I run it to create that table. Right. So I'm done with the creation of the table. So when I refresh this, the auditor report is there. When I open it, there's nothing in the table. Okay. So we want to import our CSV file. But before you import it, make sure that you have extracted it, like what I said earlier on. So you extract to have this folder, okay, so that we will use the folder. All right. So go to um, right click on MD Water Services, go to Table Data Import Wizard, and then this is this one. Mine has selected it automatically, but if yours hasn't, you go to Browse, and then you go into the folder that I talked about, the auditor report. You click on it, then you'll find the CSV file. You click on it, and then you open. Okay, so this is what you should get. So you open, then click next. Good. Now you know that we have already created auditor reports. Now it says create new table auditor report. If it is creating new table auditor report, it will conflict with what we have. So we we go to use existing table so that it will put everything inside this, because what we created, the columns are the same as what we have in the auditor report. So I select use existing table, then auditor report, then I come to next. Then you see that all the columns are listed here, and then what is in the table is listed here. So I go to next again, next again. So this should be able to import all the data in the auditor report and the location, uh, type of water source and all that. So click next, and you see that it says 1620 records imported. So when you come here, they said, wow, first off, it looks like we have 1620 records. Okay, so this even shows that you have done the right thing. I see a location ID, type of water source at that location, and the quality score of the water source that is now independently measured. Our auditor also investigated each site a bit by speaking to a few locals. Their statements are also captured in these results. We need to tackle a couple of questions here. Is there a difference in the scores? If so, are there patterns? Okay, so let me finish what I started. I think the auditor report we are done. So when you come here to confirm that everything is intact, uh, we come to the table auditor report. Now you see that everything is in, everything is okay. Don't have any errors, right? So from there we go to the auditor report table use location ID, but the quality scores table only has a record ID we can use. Okay. The visit table links location ID and record ID. So we can link the auditor report table and water quality using the visit table. So this is what is being said. For the first question, um, we will have to compare the quality scores in the water quality table to the auditor's scores. So the quality scores in the water quality table, when we come to water quality, this is water quality. Water quality has subjective quality score. So These are the record IDs, and then the auditor report also has quality score or source quality. So it is here. All right. So we are being told that we should compare. We will have to compare, yeah. So they are saying the visit table links. All right. So we will have to compare the quality scores in the water quality table to the auditor score. The auditor report table used location ID, but the quality scores table only used or has the record ID you can use. Okay, so like we have seen in the table, that is how they look like. The visit table links location ID and record ID. We can link the auditor report table and water quality using visit table. So using visit table, we can combine or link. You can combine or link water quality table and then the auditor report table. So first grab the location ID and true water source score columns from the auditor report. So from the auditor report, so from this table, water a auditor report, we want to select location ID and then they said location ID and true water source score. True water source score. Right. So that is what they say we should select first. So this is what we will get. Now we join the visit table to the auditor reports. We join the visit table to the auditor report. Make sure to grab subjective quality score, record ID, and location ID. So we want to join. So they said we should grab subjective quality score, that is from the visit table. Uh, so we have water quality table with record ID. Then we have, let me see the visits. Visits, we have record ID, we have location ID. Auditor report has a location ID. Great. Then we want to join it with so we are told to get subject quality score, record ID, and location ID. Okay, so subjective quality score. So subjective quality score is from where? Is from the water quality table. Oh, sorry. Subjective score. So water quality, you indicate the table. Uh, then we have record ID, location ID. So we will show our record ID, water quality dot location record ID. So there's a comma. Um, so we'll have auditor auditor reports underscore. Sorry, full stop. All right. Auditor report. Right. So you show the table names together with the column name like this before we come and join. So here we do from this, then we join on, join, then we indicate the table. You want to join it with water quality. Wait, wait. So we have subjective quality score on only the what's the name? Only the water quality. But this record ID should come from the visits table. Visits table. Visits visits table. So we join water quality. We join water quality on the water quality has um water quality. Let me check. It has record ID. Auditor report doesn't have record ID. It's the visit table that has record ID. All right. So on so rather join visit together with water quality on water quality dot record ID equals visit dot record ID. Then we join also with what auditor reports where location ID matches. Good. So join with auditor report on auditor report auditor report dot location ID equals visits dot location ID. Okay, let's hope we are correct. Let's hope we are correct. Right, right. I've run it and I got an answer. Yes, 5185 record ID You see that we have this. Then this one is the location. Uh, this is it. This is the location, right? Then the water source, they are here. 130 in the beginning. And then the ID is this. The same here. Right. Bravo. We have been able to type the whole thing at a go. I never thought I can get it right. But then we got it right. So this is what is happening. We select the location ID inside this table. That is the auditor report table. Then we selected true water source score column from the auditor report table. And then we selected subjective quality score from the water quality. Then visits, we selected record ID from visits. So what is happening is that you are selecting columns from different tables. In this case, we have three of the tables. So make sure that when you are joining after this, you join them together. So I started joining visit. I think the visit contains most of this thing. That is why I placed it here. So visit will join with water quality and also join with what auditor reports. And when you are joining them, you have to specify what makes them or what unique thing joins them. And in our water quality with visit table, the common thing between them is the record ID. So where this record ID in the visit table is the same as this, we join them. If they are not the same, we don't. Then in the auditor reports, we have the location ID, and in the visits, we have the location ID. So the location ID will be joined as well. So I think that is it. So we first use the from this. So you see that the join, they are all after the from, because they are all tables that we are picking the data from. So we are picking it from the table which joins visits and water quality here. And then we take it from the table which joins auditor report and visits. Then we bring them out. So that is it. I am very happy I could do this on. Okay. So I've commented it out so that we go to the next one. Um, so I think all right, everything is here. So they joined the auditor report with the visits, and then auditor report with another one. So now, so this one it did only one, I think. Auditor reports with the visits, where location ID is equal to that. Yes, I think that is it. Then they displayed visits and true water source. Okay, so they use the true water source for the auditor reports, but we use the subjective quality for the visit. That is not from the visit, from the water quality. And so they didn't introduce the water quality. That is why they are getting it, because the true water source score is the same as the subjective in the water quality. So I think we are on track. Now that we have the record ID for each location, our next step is to retrieve the corresponding scores from the water quality table. Oh, okay, still we will use it. I think we have done it. We are particularly interested in the subjective quality score. To do this, we'll join the visit table and the water quality table using the record ID as the connecting key. So I think we have done that, but they added this one. So this one is a little bit different from ours. Then it doesn't matter if your columns are in different formats. Yes, because we are about to clean this up a bit. Since it is a duplicate, we can drop one of the location ID columns. let's leave record ID and rename the scores to surveyor score and auditor score to make it clear which scores we are looking at in the result set. So let's look at this. We have auditor reports uh, true. So this one is there, and the water quality. So this one, the auditor report is for the surveyor, and so we do as surveyor surveyor's score, and then this will be as what auditor. Sorry. So the auditor one is the auditor. So auditor score, and then we have surveyor score, and then they displayed what and what location ID, record ID. So record ID, auditor score, surveyor score. So let's arrange it the way they have arranged it so that we'll see things clearly. Location ID, record ID is second, then auditor score, surveyor score. Right. So this time round, we have done the thing already. We are using the three tables, but they used two at the beginning before coming to use the three. All right, so this is it. This is it. So we have the same thing on our hands. So you see the same table, right? Since we are joining 1620 rows of data, we want to keep track of the number of rows we get each time we run a query. We can either set the maximum number of rows we want from limit to 1000 rows to a larger number like 10,000, or we can force SQL to give us all of the results using limit 10,000. So here we can limit it to, in our case, we will not have the 10,000, so we just use the don't limit so that we'll get the number of rows. We were told that we are supposed to have 1600 and something, but you see here when we joined we are getting 2698 rows. Yes, so that is more than the 1006. That is why they want us to limit the rows more than the 1000 because we will have more than that. Okay, let's analyze. A good starting point is to check if the auditors and employees scores agree. There are many ways to do it. We can have a where clause and check if surveyor score equals auditor score. So if surveyor score is equal to auditor score, then we display that. Or we can subtract the two scores and check if the result is 0. So we can use the where clause like they said. So we choose from this table or the joint tables, then we bring the where clause where where surveyor score equals auditor score. So we label this as auditor score here. We label this as surveyor score here, so we can use them. So where auditor score score equals surveyor score. Surveyor score. Let's see. Okay. So the where clause. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's since this one is not working, I thought it will work. So let's use the actual names. Okay, good. So we got 2,505 rows instead of 2,698. Interesting. Okay, some of them do match. You try and figure this out. If you run into an error, remember that you can't use aliases in where. Okay, so that is what we did and we got the error. When we use the aliases, that is, when you use these aliases, we can't use it in where clause. Yeah, okay. So I think it has been verified or it has been confirmed. So you have to use the same name as in the select part, like this, auditor report dot true water source score, like what I did. So you got what 2505 rows, right? Yes. And I'm happy that I'm able to do this. Some of the locations were visited multiple times, so these records are duplicated here. To fix it, we set visit.visitCounts equals 1 in the where clause. Make sure you reference the alias you use for visits in the join. So, uh, it says some of the locations were visited multiple times. So these records are duplicated here. To fix it, we set visits.visitCount equals 1 in the where clause. So let's move to the where clause. So this is equal to that, and so let's add the end statement and visits visit counts so visit count in the visit table is equal to 1, right? So all right, let me see if I run. Good, I ran this and it worked. All right. All right. Let me check the visits. What is so visit count is here. Oh, all right. Okay. Oh, okay. So we are looking at where the visit count is only 1. Where the visit count is only 1, then it will record that for us, and that is giving us 1518. 1518. With the duplicate removed, I now get 1518. What does this mean considering the auditor visited 1620 sites? So I think that I think that is an excellent result. 1518 divided by 1620 equals 94% of the records the auditor checked were correct. But that means that 102 records are incorrect. So let's look at those. You can do it by adding one character in the last query. Mm, In the last query, I want to understand. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. We, because they are saying that we got 1518, and when we subtract from the records the auditor brought in, that is 1620. It means that 94% of our records were correct. So it means that there were some errors, which is the 6%. And that 6% is what? The 102 with records. So let's look at those. You can do it by adding one character in the last query. So in the last query, what they are saying is that you should add one character. This square clause is checking if this is equal to that. So we are looking at the subjective quality score, which is in our water quality table, and the true water source score from the auditor. Okay, we are comparing them. If they are the same, and also the visit count is 1, then it will give you those records. So those matching records are in total 1518. It means that there are some which doesn't match. That there are some which the true water source score doesn't match with the subjective quality score. So that is not. So we use the not operator, that the exclamation sign. So where the true water source score is not the same as this, but the visit count is still 1, right? So we are looking for that record, and that record will be. Hold on. Let me copy this. Sorry. Okay. So let me leave it like that. Let me put it there and then run this. So you see that it has returned 102 rows. It has returned 102 rows. Those are the records with errors. Right. So let's move on. So these are the records. Where you check, it's the same as what we have here. Since we used some of this data in our previous analysis, we need to make sure those results are still valid. Now we know some of them are incorrect. We didn't use the scores that much, but we relied a lot on the type of water source. So let's check if there are any errors there. So we want to check the type of water source to see if there are any errors there. If there are any errors, it means that our analysis that we did, there may be some errors. So to do this, we need to grab the type of water source column from the water source table and call it survey source, using the source ID column to join. Also select the type of water source from auditor report table and call it auditor source. So let's try and do what they are telling us. Let me comment this out. All right. So it says grab type of water source column from water source table and call it survey source. Water source from select type of water source, then we call it what? Survey source. survey source. Okay, from, so using the source ID column to join. So the source ID, we use it to join this. Also select the type of water source from the auditor report table. I think the auditor report table also contains type of water source. Yes, type of water source. So type, so let me use water source, sorry, water source dot. So we are picking from the water source, the type of water source. So let's pick from the auditor report. So auditor report dot type of water source. Yes. Okay. Um, Let me put a comma here. So that one they didn't answer to from the auditor report to and call it auditor source. Okay. So you call it auditor source. Auditor source. Right. From where? From from water source join. So join on sorry, let me bring that auditor report join on, he said with their what source ID. So auditor reports dot source ID equals water source dot source ID. All right, so we are displaying, we want to display the type of water source for the survey and the type of water source for auditor source. All right. We are getting an error. Okay, let me terminate, add semicolon to it and see. Warranty is not working. So select this from this. Okay. Let me check the auditor report if there's a source ID. There's no source ID here. So that is type of water source. Let me check. That one has a location ID. Auditor auditor report has location ID. All right. So we should location ID, location ID. Okay, so what we are doing is that we want to display water source, type of water source, and then that is from the water source table. So this is the water source table. This is how it looks like. We have the source ID, type of water. So we are going to display type of water there. So it means we have to look at the source ID so that we can join with the source ID from the water source table. And then when we come to the auditor reports, the auditor report table is like this. The only thing that identifies the items here is the location ID. But location ID is not in water source. So it means we cannot join water source and auditor report just like that. It means visit must be in the middle. So it means that we have to go to location ID in the visit table, compare it with auditor reports where they match, and then also water source with visits where the source ID matches. Okay, so we are going to join three tables at the same time. So we join water source with visits. Okay, on which one? On, so the water source is here and the visit is here on their source ID. So they all have common source ID. So on, then water source dot source ID equals visits dot source ID. Right. Then we come to another join. Then this time around we join it with the auditor report table on where. So when we are joining with the auditor report, what it has is location ID. So we join it through the location ID from water source. Okay, so we can say water source dot location ID equals auditor report dot location ID. Then we add our semicolon. I think this should run. Um, let's run it. Okay. Water source location ID. Where is water source? Oh, sorry. Water source doesn't have location ID. So it's supposed to be visits. So visits, right? So visits location ID, right? So this is how you're supposed to be like. So you see these things. But this doesn't make sense. It means that we have to show some other columns so that it makes sense. So we can even show our location ID from any of them. It could be auditor report. We only do auditor report dot location ID. Okay, and then let's see visits. Okay, let me use visits. I think the auditor reports, some of the data is, I think the number of rows in the auditor report is lesser than that of uh, water source. Water source, yeah. I think that is why it was giving me error. Right. So you can see some of these things here. I don't know if it matches. This is AKRU 05215. Unfortunately, ours doesn't show it that way. I wanted to find one of the IDs and see if everything works. They showed the record ID to here. Auditor score, surveyor score. All right. Um, surveyor score, survey source, auditor source. So, okay. So their scores to they show the. Let me try and show their scores. So survey score. So I'm doing survey score. So survey score will be uh, water source. What's the score there? No. It's not here. I think the score will be from water quality. Oh, okay. So they joined water quality. They joined water quality from water quality. Yeah. All right. So all that we need to know is how to display some of these things. Um, you want to display survey score. That is the score, subjective score. So it means that we have to use the water quality. If you use water quality, then we have to join that one too. As a matter of fact, we have to join that table to the list. Other than that, it can't display this particular one with the so let me check something. If there's another thing that you can display. Record ID. Record ID is in which one? Visit table. Yeah, record ID is in visit table. So we can display that one without going to add any table. So let me try and remove this one and put something like record ID here. So record ID is in the visits dot record ID. Right. Okay. Record ID. Oh, I don't know if okay. The command is there. Let me remove it and see. So I think I've been able to do that part. Um, I want to see one of the IDs if they match. This is 05215. Let me check. 05215. Here is it. We have 2116. Yeah, as our record ID. 2116. That is well water. So at least we have found one that goes with there. So it means we are on track. That retained 2,698 rows. Ah, yeah, yeah. So uh, you can join the other one, the one in the what is the table, the water quality table. That is so let me try and join them. Let me try and add them and see if it will be okay. Let me add comma here. So we are listing them like a list of items. So comma will be at the end of this, comma will be at the end of this one, this one. And then this one, we are saying take it from the water quality source. So water quality. And we label it water quality, that is from subjective. Let me check the word subjective quality score. Okay, subjective quality score, so alias survey score. And then the other one will be from the auditor reports, that is the true water source score. So true water source score. Good. That is auditor score. Right. Then we add water quality to our table. But water quality has a record ID with the visits table. So we add its join water quality. Okay. And then on water quality dot record ID equals visits dot record ID. So oh, okay, so we are done. Let's pray we run it and it will run. So we run this. Oh, it's run. Right. Yes, it has run. So we also have our surveyor score, auditor score. I think they try to arrange the surveyor score from highest to lowest. So let's do that so that we will see that our table matches with this. Okay, let me try and do that. Not limits, order by auditor. Today I'm using the distance to see if it will work. The alias, if it will work. It worked. Alias will descending order. So yeah, doing it in descending order. But it seems mine didn't start from 10. I don't know. That is surveyor. Survey score starts with 10, not auditor score. So let me use survey. So survey score. All right. So good. I think now it's the same thing here. Good. So 7938 record ID 21160434140. When you come here, 2116793. I think it is here that they have different ones, but at least we have been able to confirm two of them matching, because some of the records they are not appearing. I don't know which one they ranked or did something to that has made them, but then that is it. So what I can see is that the types of sources look the same. So even though the scores are wrong, the integrity of the type of water source data we analyzed last time is not affected. Once you are done, remove the columns and join statements for water sources again. So we want to remove the join statement for water sources. So that is water quality, water source. We will remove the join statement. Let's wait for the next instruction. Linking records to employees. Next up, let's look at where these errors may have come from. At some of the locations, employees assigned scores incorrectly, and those records ended up in this result set. I think there are two reasons this can happen. These workers are all humans and make mistakes, so this is expected. Unfortunately, the alternative is that someone assigned scores incorrectly on purpose. In either case, the employees are the source of the errors. So let's join the assigned employee ID for all the people on our list from the visit table to our query. Remember, our query shows the 102 incorrect records. So when we join the employee data, we can see which employees made these incorrect records. Okay, so you remember we did something to get those who are not. Let me comment this one to get the errors. So let me comment this one out and then go and copy the first one that we did. I want to come in so that I don't want to lose the code, so that next time I can just reference them. So I'll come and paste that one here, the first one we did. So they said true water score is not equal to, so that gave us, I think, 102 rows. Oh, I've made some mistake somewhere. Okay, all right, so this is it. Okay, so we have this. Um, we want to join the employee table. Now, what does the employee table have in common with these tables? So with the auditor, so this one we joined water quality auditor report visits. I think they will be linked with the visits. That is why we were supposed to learn the table in the beginning there. What's the name? Let me open it again. The ERD. So let me open it so that we will be comparing, looking at things there. So next up, so next, next, execute, next. Oh, sorry. Oh no. Okay. Okay. So looking at this, where is the employee table? This is the employee table. It is linked to the well pollution table, which is also linked to the visit table before it will go to wherever it has to. Let me check something. Okay, so let's go back and then look at what we can do. So if they are linked, then we are going to look at what is common between them. So employee table has assigned employee ID. But when we look at our code here, we are using water quality, visits, and auditor reports. So we have visits, auditor reports. So when you look at visits table, we have assigned employee ID in common with it. But when we go to water quality, we don't have any employee thing assigned. We don't have record ID with the employee. It doesn't, we don't match. When we go to auditor report, the same thing. There's nothing on the employee table that is matching here. So it is only the visit table that is connected. So we are going to display the employee ID. We are going to display the employee ID. Okay. And I'll try and then add the name to then let's see. So I'll come here and then do employee dot assigned employee ID. Okay. And then employee dot assigned employee name. Then I'll come here and join. So I'll do the join here with the employee table on what is common between them, which is in the visits table, we have assigned employee ID equals in the employee table, we have it should appear. We have assigned employee ID. Right. Let's hope this one runs. Great. So we have these people returned. So Bello Azibo is part of those who made those errors. Everywhere Bello Azibo is there. All right, these people are all there. Great, great. So it says, so when we join the employee, we can see which employee. All right, all right. So they are here. This one they added the location to it. I added the name, the employee name. I think they came to do it here. Yes. And then the location ID. So let me add the location ID to it. From here, location ID. So, oh, I think I have it. I have the location ID. Yes, 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 yes. So you see that everything here is matching. All right. This time around, we have been able to do the thing without any errors. Um, okay. So here everything is cool. We have done this one too. Well, this query is massive and complex, so maybe it is a good idea to save this as a CTE. So when we do more analysis, we can just call that CTE like it was a table. Call it something like incorrect records. Once you are done, check if this query select star from incorrect records gets the same table. So I think the CTE we use with statement, if I haven't forgotten. So it says that um, let's first get a unique list of employees from this table. Think back to the start of your SQL agent to answer this question. So we are going to get the unique values from this. Um, so uh, so the same table we are going to count. Let me try and count. So we are going to count assigned employee ID, right? So that we put it there as what? As the number of errors, right? So counts, let's hope you are correct. Counts um, assigned employee ID, counts um, so assigned employee ID, count this as number of mistakes. Okay, so we count and then we do what? We show the employee name as a unique ID. So distinct. Let me put it in the ID column. Okay, so here, yeah. So mostly the distinct, I think the distinct always works when you put it at the beginning. So let's run it and see if it will work. Oh, let me see, let me see. So we are counting, so it will aggregate them. And so let me see something. We will join employee ID. So true water source score equals subjective quality score. True water source score is from auditor reports, and this is from water quality, and this is from visit table. So for us to be able to use this, we should still have this join. So let me see if we can remove some of these ones. Auditor score. Um, so so let me see. Visit dot record ID. So it means the quality score we have to sum them, and then auditor report true score too we have to sum them. Auditor report location ID. So location ID will be different for everyone. Visits dot record ID will be different for everyone. So we remove that one. Then we try to sum this. Sum this and see if it will work. Please, I'm doing everything from my head, so I do the mistake and then we learn from that. Okay, so um, let me remove the sum and use the group by and see if it will work. Because the group by, or let me still use the sum. Let me use that and use group by together with that. So group by uh, group by employee assigned employee ID. Group by that. I think that one worked. It worked. 17 rows. Great. So we group by employee assigned ID. So you see, what we've done is we try to display the employee ID. So this one you can even remove the distinct since we are grouping by employee ID. So it should still work. Yeah, it still worked with 17 records. So number of mistakes are here. Surveyor score So then auditor score, yeah, here and the names, interesting. So when you check, says number of mistakes for Rudo Imani 5, Bella Azibo 26, Bello Azibo, right? That is 26. Then Bello Azibo 26, Rudy Amani, that. Then this person Matembo 17. So we are on track. Do you see a pattern here? Order the list if you can't see it yet. So if we can't see the pattern here, let's order the list. Um, so you can order by assigned employee ID. You can do that, or you can order by auditor score or number of mistakes. Okay, so we don't see any pattern. I think we should order by auditor score. I see something. Maybe there's something peculiar about the scores that would give us, sorry, auditor. Sorry. Let me use uh, assign the employee ID again and see something. Okay. So you are ordering by auditor score. So auditor score, not auditor reports. Auditor score. Okay. Okay. The pattern. So there's a pattern here. Right. So you observe these ones. For now, I don't really see the pattern very well. If you have seen something, you let me know so that I also learn from that. It looks like some of our surveyors are making a lot of mistakes, while many of the other surveyors are only making a few. I don't like where this is going. Okay, so some of them are making a lot of mistakes. From here, we have some making 26, some making 21, 17. These people down here. So, okay, so the more they make the mistakes, the auditor score, I think the auditor score is low, or because the score one is of high or something, if I can remember. One is higher than the rest. I think it was 1 to 10 or something. I've forgotten. So I think so far we have been able to do this, and that is the basic thing, or that is what is to be achieved. Gathering some evidence. Okay, so thinking about this a bit, how would we go about finding out if any of our employees are corrupt? Let's say all employees make mistakes. If someone is corrupt, they will be making a lot of mistakes, more than average, for example. But someone could just be clumsy, so we should try to get more evidence. Our auditor did say some of the things he heard on the street were quite shady, and he recorded this in the statement column. Considering both of these sources should give us a pretty reliable answer. So let's try to find all the employees who have an above average number of mistakes. Let's break it down into steps first. We have to first calculate the number of times someone's name comes up. We just did that in the previous query. Let's call it error count. Then we need to calculate the average number of mistakes employees made. We can do that by taking the average of the previous query's results, something like this. Let's call the result average error count per employee, which would be a scalar value. Finally, we have to compare each employee's error count with average error count per employee. We will call this results set our suspect list. Remember that we can't use an aggregate result in where, so we have to use average error count per employee as a subquery. All right, so we are going to do this. So let's start. We are saying that we have to first calculate the number of times someone's name comes up. We just did that. So let's call it what? Error count. So what we did in the previous one, what we just did, that is number of mistakes. So I'll copy that and comment this out. I want to keep the record. Comment this out. Go to the next, paste it there. Then instead of displaying these people, okay, so I don't want to display employee ID. So we have employee and the number of mistakes. That is where did we get the number of mistakes? We counted employee in this where this is true. So these are coming from this one. So let me remove order by. Okay, and close this. Now run it and see. Right, so number of mistakes. Then we said we don't want number of mistakes. We want to name it what? Error count. So let's add error count. Then they said what? Then we need to calculate the average number of mistakes employees made. We can do that by taking the average of the previous query's results. Something like this. So average of this query. Alright. So um so we select, we put this in brackets and we label it as what? Number of mistakes. Right. So this is a subquery. Let me bring this one down. It's not coming down. Right. Okay. So let's start with select. So select what is here, the average of what is here. Okay. Let me check what they said again. Number of mistakes. Okay. So average of what is here. Let me remove this, the alias, average of that. Um, okay, I think that is it. We are supposed to close them. Good. Average of that, and then so this is our average we have selected from. So let me do this as number of or which table did we get the average from? So we join this and that. Join this and that, and then we didn't label it as. So join this as. Let me see if it will work as number of mistakes. Mistakes. It's not working. Okay, let me add it to the where clause or is a group by. Let me add it to this one here. I'm wondering why it is not working. Uh, okay, so instead of just having this, that is, we have to find the average for this. Um, wait. Okay, so when you check from the slice, we can use the CTE. So let me first of all look at this. Where is it? This one. Okay. So we are told to look for the errors. So let's we have to first calculate the number of times someone name came up. We just did that in the previous query. So let's call it error count. All right. So we call it error count. Let me delete this. So this thing will count the errors. We call it error count. But then we use CTE. So I'll tab it and then we'll type the keyword width. Okay. Then I'll do number of mistakes. Sorry. So number of mistakes. Then as. Then I open bracket for my query. and then close it. So let me remove this and then place it here. Oh, yeah, I think I'm on track. I don't know why I'm still getting error. Anyway, see. So let me check the slide again. So we do that. Okay. We do that, we don't close it there. We have to continue. So it's a continuation. Right. So this is going to return something like this with the number of mistakes. I want to look at the average of the number of mistakes. Okay, so we select we select uh, number of mistakes, or no, we have changed it to error is here, error count. I don't know if this one will work. Error counts, select error counts from number of mistakes table. Let's run and see if this one will even appear. So good. So we've displayed the error count. So we want to find the average of the error count. Average of that. Because we want to find the average of the errors from this. And that is what they told us here. Here it says average of the number of mistakes. So we have the average from I don't know if they have given it different names. So they say error counts from error count. Meanwhile, the error count is supposed to be the column name in our side. So it means that we will maintain number of mistakes. So that I want us to follow the same thing. So that so let me get this one and label it number of mistakes as we had. Okay, and then label the table as error count. Right. Then we come here, we do number of mistakes from the table, and then from error counts table. Great. So let's call that result average error count. So average error count, which will be scalar. So they want us to call it what? Average error count per employee. So we do CTE for this one too. I don't know if that one will work. Let's try it and see. Average error counts per employee as great as, so all these people will be part of that one. And then the last part, we select employee name, number of mistakes, select employee name, number of mistakes. Okay, let me check. So we select employee name from the number of mistakes, from error counts, where number of mistakes is greater than error count. Okay, alright. So from error counts, right? Where where number of mistakes is greater than average of error average of average, we have labeled it average. It's here, this one. We are picking it from this table, the average from that. For number of mistakes is what? Is it a column name? Yeah, number of mistakes is a column. So if we say this, then we are right. Alright, so let's run this and see. Error count doesn't exist. Okay. Then let me do the width for this alone. So let's copy this or cut it. Come and place it here. Good. So width. So this is for this one, and then this is for this one, and then we do this. Okay, so let's move on. I haven't done this before, but I'm trying my best to do this. With statement is it goes with this. So this error count will return the assigned employee ID together with this column, which is called number of mistakes, and it is up to this place. But when we start another with, it is giving us error. So I'm trying to delete that, and still there's an error. So it means that this width should move with all these ones. But then if I place this whole thing inside this bracket, it means we'll call the whole thing error count. Okay, but that is not it. We want to call it average. So that will be here. Then we'll put a comma so that it is like the width with error count as this, comma, average error employee as this. Okay. So it looks like the width looks like the select statement that we've been using. Select, then something, comma, and then number of. This is my idea, like what I think it should be like when you want to add more. So here we have already written this select statement. I hope it should work. It's still not working. It says unknown column employee name in field list. Okay, so which employee name are they talking about? Error counts. So error count has employee dot assign employee ID. Okay, so we should also have employee name. Great. Visit table, does it have employee name? No. So we are picking from water quality, auditor report, and employee. Good. So we can pick employee name in the employee table. So dot employee name as employee. Oh, okay. So I think it should run. Uh, employee name. Let me use as employee name and see. Employee name. So that's when I select invalid. Oh, I am really getting confused a little. Um, okay. Are you supposed to display employee name? Okay, from error counts. So the error count has, I want it to contain this one. Employee name. Let me copy this and place it here if it will work. Still not working. Why am I getting error? Okay, so I am thinking that, yeah, maybe I'm doing something wrongly here. This is average error count per employee. I've found the average here, so it means this particular variable is going to contain the average of the mistakes. So it will be one value. But if I come here and I do average of that again, then I am finding average of an average. So let me see if this will work. It's still not working. Okay. Okay. So this is in the where clause. So instead of putting this there, we can put uh, we can put this subquery. Let me try and see. Yeah, I think the subquery works. All right, so this is it. And I don't know why. I think the where clause doesn't take aliases. So when you put the alias name there, it doesn't work. Like putting average employee as whatever. So it means that I can't put it here. So if that is the case, then there's no need for this. But why are they even asking us to label it average error score? So let me see. Okay, I think because they want to show you where to put them, that is why they are labeling it in the statement. It doesn't really necessarily mean that it doesn't necessarily mean that we should label it that way. Okay, so I think that one is that one is okay. Yeah, right. So I will delete the command here and then the statement so that when we run, it will still run. Okay, so um, we have that, and let me see. Um, I think that is it. That is that. So let's start by cleaning up our code a bit. First, incorrect records as a result we will be using for the rest of the analysis, but it makes the query a bit less readable. So let's convert it to view. We can then use it as if it was a table. It will make our code much simpler to read, but it comes at a cost. We can add comments to CTEs in our code. So if we return to that query a year later, can read those comments and quickly understand that incorrect records represent what incorrect records represent. If we save it as a view, it is not as obvious. So we should add comments in places where we use incorrect records. So replace with create view like this, and that I added the statement column to this table in line H2. So we are going to touch our table again. Then instead of this, we will use create view. I think create view, create view, incorrect words or incorrect records. Incorrect records as that. Okay. Incorrect records as that. So we will have all these. Okay. Mm. So incorrect records, then we have select statements up to this point. We have auditor report joining visits, and then water quality joining employee to auditor report joining visits and water quality. So I think they are all here. Everything is here, everything is intact. But then this place is not working. Okay, so we remove the average. I think they are not worth it. It is the mistakes that we want. So this will go off and we'll have our mistakes. Okay, I think this should work. So let me comment this out and run it as you are running a table. It's a view. So select all from incorrect records. Okay. Yes, so they are here. The 17 rows, they are here. Okay. So the added name, let's see if everything is there. Name, location ID, then what again? Name, location ID, and record ID, location ID, score, the scores and statements. So let's add them. Location ID. So location ID will be let me open this again. I don't know if create I don't know if when we can delete viewer. Let me see if the views can be deleted. View. Right. So let me refresh here. Okay, so the view is here. Let me drop view. Right, and let's start again. Okay, so location ID is in the visit table, and then location ID and what again? Record ID. Record ID is stored in the visit table. So location ID and record ID. So we can have location ID and then record ID, right? So let's run it. Great. And then let's move to this one and see what we have. Hmm. Okay, so there is a group by clause here. Group by location ID, visits, location ID, record ID. Okay, so when we group by employee ID, the location ID, employee can visit different locations. So the IDs cannot be put together into one cell for an employee who so one employee that we have listed the name once, we cannot put that there. So I don't know why that one is here. So auditor reports, okay, and then the visit. Okay, let me arrange it that way and see. Auditor reports, location ID. So auditor reports dot location ID, and then we have visits. We have visits. Uh, so let's see if it will work. Let me drop that view. Oh goodness. I don't know why it doesn't want to. Because of the group by, I think something is conflicting with it. We group by employee ID. Okay, so if we group by employee ID, this, so the visits record is what will cause the problem because let me delete it and see. Okay, let me drop this table first. First, run it again. Oh, the group by, okay, group by clause is not there. Let me undo this. Then remove the group by. So Delete this first and run it again. Oh, okay. So let's. I think I know what is causing the error. This count is counting number of mistakes per employee. So when it counts, it puts it together for one employee ID. But this visit record ID is going to cause a problem with the auditor report location ID. So location ID, one employee can visit different locations. And so we can't put employee name together with different locations in the same row. It's not going to happen. And so we cannot even group by. So remove that. Then we will remove the count. We are not going to count the number of people who made the mistakes. It will just list them. So let me delete that one too. Then delete the comma here. And also, I think that is it for this one. And then create view as this. So we end here with the view. So let's run this. I will not delete this so that when it immediately creates the view, it will just select them. So let me delete this. So select incorrect from select all, sorry, not incorrect. Select all from incorrect records. So when I run, this is what I get. Right, so this time around it's working. Okay, so from there, he said next we convert the query error count we made earlier into a CTE. Test it to make sure it gives the same result again using select star from this. On large queries like this, it is better to build the query and test each step because fixing errors becomes harder as the query grows. So we have done that one. I think this one is this CTA calculate the number of mistakes each employee made. So he said we should create CTA for the number of errors. Okay, from incorrect. Okay, so um, let's see. Records. Oh, wait. Wait. Okay, so the number of errors will count the number of employees. So let's create the CTE. Let me close this one. Let's create the CTE. So with error count as error count as so that thing I think we did it here, counting the number of errors. It's here before this one, counting the number of errors. It's here. So let me select that. Then I'll come and paste it here. Oh, where did I paste it? Maybe undo. Okay. Okay, so this is from here to here. So here to here. I copy, I come and paste it here. I remove the semicolon. Great. So this is going to count our errors for us. I'll remove these ones so that I'll have this. And then I'll close this. Then what do I do? It says group by employee name. Group by employee. Assign them employee name. Name. Employee name. Okay. Then we don't have order by. We select from incorrect. Wait. So we select employee name and count. Okay. So we don't need to even paste this whole thing here. Let's use because this thing has been done already. So let me delete this one too. All right. So yes, we'll have count employee name or yes number of mistakes. So count employee name. Employee name. So we show employee name, then we count employee name. Great. So this is what we are doing. We are selecting these ones from the one we created, the incorrect records. So incorrect records is a view now here. So we 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 use the CTE. So we look at error count as, then we select employee name and the number of mistakes because the incorrect errors are, it contains only the mistakes or the records with mistakes. Okay, so incorrect records. Then we group by employee name, and then we select star from error count. So select star from error count, error count, error count. Then we close it. So that gives us this. So the 17 records are still retained. Great. So we are cool. So now calculate the average of the number of mistakes in error counts. you should get a single value. So we want to calculate the average of this number of mistakes. So select this and then average number of mistakes. Oh, so this one is number of mistakes, right? Number of mistakes. All right, and that should return a single value. 6. 6. So, so um, we have average to be 6. Means that Bello is making a whole lot of mistakes. You should get a single value. So we got a single value. To find the employees who made more mistakes than the average person, we need the employees' names. So if we want to look for the employees who have more this thing, then we are going to do select average or select employee name, employee name, employee name. Okay, so we select employee name where where we can't use the alias in where clause. So let's use where employee number of mistakes. So where number of mistakes is greater than average number of mistakes. So what is so this one, let me remove it. Okay, so do they want only the employee names? Yeah. So we list them. So let's run this. Oh, we are getting error. Okay, so we group by employee name. Okay. This one has been grouped by already. So why are we grouping by again? So let's use employee name error counts. We are selecting from here. This is getting employee name counts of mistakes, and then we are seeing that average of that. So where number of mistakes is greater than average of number of mistakes. Okay. Okay. Okay, so um, we understand that this will fetch our error count. It will count the errors and label it error count with the employee name as our first column and then the number of mistakes as our second error from the incorrect records we created as a view. Now we use the width. So this one is the first one, and then we use this to find the average. So average error counts as we select the average and then we select it from the error count. So this will return one value. So the average error count will contain one value, that is a constant. So we came here, we selected this column, employee name, number of mistakes from error count. Then we use this condition where the number of mistakes is greater than this average. So we select the average number of mistakes from error count, this one. So this is what we place here. So it means that we don't need this. Okay, we don't need this. All right, and that gives us those with average more than what's the name? Average more with the number of mistakes more than average. Sorry. So that is what we have here. I got stuck a little, so that is why I have to try my best and then get the correct syntax before I continue. Okay, so let's continue. So these are the employees who made more mistakes on average. So here they said we should label it suspects. So we where number of this is that we can do this as, so select this whole thing from this. I don't know whether this as will work. Or this number of mistakes as suspected suspects. Let me check where they say we should do that. Um, Suspect list. Okay, so it says first convert the suspect list to the suspect list. They gave it to us somewhere. It says we should label it as suspect list and okay. So make sure you get the names of the four suspects and their mistake count as a result using select employee name from suspect list. So we'll have this CTE. So this one, they said we should do it suspects list. So we put a comma here, suspect list, this one, and then we close it here, and then we come and select everything from suspect list. So suspect list as, sorry, I didn't correct that one. So as this and then that. I think this one works. It should work. Good. So we have a CTE called suspect list, and then another is what error counts, right? That is what they say we should do. So you should be able to do the same. you should get a column of names back. So let's just recap here. We use incorrect records to find all of the records where the auditor and employee scores don't match. We then use error count to aggregate the data and got the number of mistakes each employee made. Finally, suspect list retrieves the data of employees who make an above average number of mistakes. Now we can filter that incorrect records to identify all of the records associated with the four employees we identify. Firstly, let's add the statements column to the incorrect records view. Then pull up all of the records where the employee name is in the suspect list. Hence, use select employee name from suspect list as subquery in the where clause. Alright, so we are going to add statement column to the incorrect records view. Then pull up all of the records where the employee name is in the suspect list. Use select employee name from. So let's try and then write something down. So let me uh, um, so we are going to select let me check the view. Correct records view. Let me check. Okay. So this is the incorrect records view. Okay. Employee name, record ID, all these ones are there. They want us to add the what's the name? Statements to it. And statement is in the auditor report. So let me see. So I'll incorrect records. Where is auditor reports? Auditor reports. So I want to check what auditor report has in common with the incorrect records. I think they don't match. They don't match. Okay, there's a location ID. There's a location ID. Right. There's a location ID. Although this place they were not clear whether we should add it as a permanent thing or we should add it like using the join statement. Unless let me check if okay. I think there's nothing like join. We should. There's nothing like that. Or correct records. Okay. I want to see if they used statements. Yeah. Statements from incorrect records. So here they use statements from incorrect records. So it means that we are going to effect the changes permanently to the view. I don't know how to edit it. I don't know whether there's a way of editing it. Okay, so I clicked on this eye icon. This is analyze table. Okay, let me just close it. Okay, that means I don't know whether the view supports the author table and all that. I don't know. Unless we go to where? Oh, I've closed everything. Closed everything. Oh, I've closed everything. Okay, so I think they are here. Let me save this so that I will not forget. All right, so um, we now want to update that. Where is it? Yes. So create view for that. The created view. Okay, so this is the view. Um, I will add the statement. Sorry. Okay, so this is our view. Please, these are comments. These from create view up to this point, they are the original code or the code that we are using. So let's add the statements. So auditor. Um, so let me bring employee ID first. Employee ID first. Uh, employee name. Employee name. Then we will have okay auditor report dot statements. Okay, so that the view will be updated. Now let me okay, there's author view here. There's author view here. Um, okay, the view I don't know much about it. Don't let me go and touch anything. So you let me use this like that. Let me create it again. So let me drop it and then run this. Really. Okay, so I can now put this one to comment, and then run my incorrect records to see if everything came right together with the statements. Everything is here. Correct, correct, correct. So I think that one is done. And so we are seeing that, using this kind of query, this query filters all of the records where the corrupt employees gathered data. Select whatever from incorrect where employee name in, select employee name from suspect list. So incorrect records, we take suspect list from the incorrect records. So let's comment this out. So it says select what we want to display, all the suspects. Okay, okay, so if you want to display all the suspects, this is what they are saying we should do. Select from incorrect records. So we select all from incorrect records, from incorrect records where employee name, the incorrect records, do we have employee name? Let me see. Let me check incorrect records. Uh, we have employee name here. So where employee name in, when I select, so this is a subquery. When I select employee name from the suspect list, okay, suspect list is here, and it is a CTE. So it means that I will not comment it out. I have to come and join this to that. So let me cut it, come here, and then uncomment this so that I'll just join it here. Okay. Incorrect words, suspect list. Okay, suspect list, and let me run this query. Okay, so after running this, we'll have okay. So we have done that. Uh, so we have filtered out those people. I think they all have record IDs with some sort of statements. Okay, so I think it makes sense. This query is complex, right? But if you document it well, it is simpler to understand. Oh, and you don't want to see what this query looks like using only subqueries. So with error count, as it calculates the number of mistakes each employee made, then we had that one. I think yes, incorrect records is view that joins the audit. Okay, and then we have suspect list, and then we had this. Okay, so I think everything has been summarized here, and we can see it in our work here. So these ones are there. The create view is there, and then this one. As for the create view, you can comment it out because it has created a view and it is here permanently. So you can comment it out and it will fetch it from the view. But with the CTE, it must still use the code. All right. So if you have a look, you will notice some alarming statements about these four officials. Look at these records. So we want to look at these records. For example, see how the word cash is used a lot in these statements. So let me see if we can get those records. Correct records. Suspect list. Okay. Which records is that? Is it the location records? AKR. Okay. So those AK whatever is the location ID. So I can also say and so and location. Do we have location in incorrect records? Location ID here is there. So location ID in so location ID in then let me list them. Let me list these ones. I copied them and I will paste them here. I don't want to miss anything. So they are texts, so they are strings, so I have to put them in quotes. So like this. All right. So let me close the brackets and let me run. Good. So I got 4 rows returned. Let me open up this statement. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Cash exchanges involving cash exchanges. Yeah, dimension of cash exchanges was intensified. Yeah, so these 4 are giving us the result. Yeah, so it says check if there are any employees in the correct records table with statement mentioning cash. So it says filter the records that refer to cash. Let's just do one more check to make sure. So we want to filter the records that has to do with cash. So let me try and then comment this. Oh, let me still use it. So um so where the statements like like so statement like, let me bring this one down so that I'll see it clearly. Statement like cash. So it could be some characters behind it before cash, then character in front, and then others. So this is that. So cash like this. So that contains cash. Okay. So we have about 19 of them. 19 of them. Let's just do one more check to make sure. Check if there are any employees in the incorrect records table with statement mentioning cash that are not in our suspect list. This should be as simple as adding one word. So check if there are any employees in the incorrect table with statement mentioning cash that are not in our suspect list. So we have the suspect list, and then we are looking at the records. So let me this is overwhelming. Okay, so let me put this one on comments so that I'll still be using the CTE here. Okay, so select select or from incorrect 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 records where where statements like cash. So cash or statements like, okay, let's leave it like that. I wanted to add another one which starts with cash. So where statement like cash is there, and then and let me see if this one will work. The suspect list is taken from suspect list. Okay, and to select when this is like cash and suspect list, what does it contain? The suspect list will contain, let me see. Suspect list contains employee name and suspects. This suspect list. Yeah. Okay. So let me write something here. Let me just leave it like that. So suspect list, it has number of mistakes and employee name. So where employee here, where employee name from our incorrect records, incorrect records dot employee name equals employee name in the incorrect records is not in the suspect list. So um, suspect list underscore sorry dot employee name. So we are looking at the incorrect records name. If we can find any employee who is not in this list, and also the statement is like this, where this is cash. I don't know. It says check if there are any employees in the incorrect records table with statement mentioning cash that are not in our suspect list. So it is in this and the incorrect employee name are not in our suspect name. Okay. Now that is what it should be like. I don't know whether this will run unless we join. Okay, so from let me see if this one works. Join join um, join so here we will display employee name, okay, and then we join our incorrect records to suspect list, or yeah, I think incorrect records with suspect list. Let's write on, what do they have in common? On the suspect lists and incorrect records all have they all have employee ID or employee name. Suspect list, let me check. Suspect list has employee name, only employee name. Okay, suspect list. So we join them with what? Their employee name. So we join them with this. I hope this one works. No. Okay. Let's try and then add assign the employee ID to our error count which is fetching the records from the incorrect records because incorrect records has assigned employee ID. So let me try and then add it and see if we can use it to join these tables. Assigned employee ID. Right. Correct records has that. Great. So assigned employee ID from here. And then the suspect list will also have that. Okay. Then we come here and add assigned, or let's see, we do this incorrect records assigned employee ID. Assigned employee ID. Dots. Assigned employee ID. Sorry, but let me remove the name. Right. Uh, I'm wondering why I cannot run this. Right. I'm told it is ambiguous. So we checked and we are selecting employee name from the correct records where statement contains cash. Then we group by employee name so that we can see the number of employees. I think we still have the four, and that shows that there are no other people except these four who are in a corrupt zone or suspected zone. So please, this is not standing on its own. It is taking its records from here. Okay, please, this middle one is a comment. This one is a comment. So it means this one is up to here with a bracket. And then we have the suspect list and then the error count as CTE. So it is fetching this thing from the incorrect records. Even the incorrect records is from the view. The view. So it's not even about this one. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so I get an empty result. So no one except the first suspect has these allegations of bribery. So we can sum up the evidence we have for Zuriel Matembo, Malaki Mavuso, Bello Azibo, and Lalitha Kaburi. They all made more mistakes than their peers on average. They all have incriminating statements made against them and only them. Keep in mind that this is not decisive proof, but it is concerning enough that we should flag it. President Naledi has worked hard to stamp out corruption, so you would urge us to report this. I'm a bit shocked, to be honest. After all our team set out to do, it is hard for me to uncover this. I'll let President Naledi know what we found. So far so good. We have come to the end of this thing, and I'm very happy that I could go through the whole thing with you. Uh, until then, goodbye.